I lived there when I was 18,
Yeah.
and I grew up a Zionist. And we were told, and our whole community in this country is told, that we have to defend Israel and love Israel because it will stop at the Holocaust. It will stop another Holocaust from happening. And my dad was born in 1951. That was 6 years after these atrocities. His friends' parents, he knew these people that had been through this hell, these skeletons. And it terrified us. And the understanding in our community is that we have to defend Israel. I lived there, and I went to a settlement, and I looked down a hill at a Palestinian village, and I saw how they lived, and I turned back and I looked at the settlement and saw how they lived. And people live in a world where they're demeaned and dehumanized and surveilled constantly by people, and this isn't in Gaza, by people in SWAT team outfits with semi-automatic weapons, and that's what the world is seeing. And you keep telling me that the problem is someone's getting yelled at a restaurant? I'm sorry.
You're conflating two different issues. So
Please, me saying this to you right now will hurt people in my own family. Okay? Because this is a very important thing to us. And the fact that I still fucking care about being Jewish is embarrassing. I should just be a guy. But this feels like a stain on our history. And it feels like it's changed what being Jewish is. Because what being Jewish isn't Israel. Judaism has existed for 4,000 years. This is a country for 75 years. It is one of the oldest monotheistic religions. Anti-Semitism is one of the oldest forms of hatred. People in my life are going to be mad at me about this, but I'm saying this because I am Jewish. I want to have.
I feel like I'm here to be lectured, not.
Shut up. That's not nice. You can't talk that way. Why are one set of Jews more important than others?
No one's saying any.
What happened? You went to the beach in Israel?
You do Richie Torres and people like him too many favors when you even insinuate that they care about Jewish people or Jewish people being safe. And that's not what Adam Friedland was doing. And I think that was a very powerful clip because he was obviously very vulnerable. And like, it's important to hear about these experiences and how people, extricate themselves from these sorts of ways of thinking. But Richie Torres, most Zionists, like their care for Jewish people is more about the care for the power that invoking Jewish people's identity and like that collective. And, in the case of the Holocaust, that collective tragedy and trauma has allowed them to wield within our political system. And it's not just the Jewish identity. You see this across the board with the way in which a lot of our political parties engage with identity. It's not about the people. It's about the power that you can garner from co-opting people's story, co-opting people's tragedy. And then, once it's no longer politically useful, they jettison them. Like, I have no doubt that once, being really, really pro-Israel, being really, really like evocatively anti-Semitic is no longer valuable to Trump or no longer valuable to the Democrats, you won't hear anything about it. And the anti-Semitism that has arose as a result of their actions will be something that they don't take responsibility for. They have no solution for. They'll maybe go on TV and chastise people about it, but there'll be no structural solution or acknowledgement of how we got to this point or their role in getting to this point.